Hi, Carl. Thank you very much for joining me on the Sports Editor. It's really good to chat to you about your career and all the happenings that has been going on with the Scotland national cricket side. Carl, to start things off, in terms of captaincy, it's been an exciting past couple of months for you and the team. Tell us how it all went down in qualifying for the 2020 World Cup.
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for having me. The World Cup qualifier was it was good to qualify in the end. We didn't necessarily play the cricket that we were hoping to play or play as consistently as we would have liked, but at the end of the day we got the job done and we qualified, and that was the aim out of the tournament. Going into the tournament, we were probably one of the higher ranked sides, but we all know how T20 cricket can be and how things can progress. And look, we were disappointed that we didn't finish higher up and go further in that competition. But at the end of the day, we got what we wanted out of the tournament. It was quite stressful. These tournaments always are. These qualifying tournaments are always stressful. One win here or there, or run rate. We've certainly been on the wrong end of run rate on a couple of occasions, and had our fair share of good tournaments, but also bad tournaments. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Coming away from that and knowing that we've qualified for the World Cup in Australia was really exciting and a big relief in the end. So yeah, pretty happy with where we are.
Your next ambition will be to qualify for the 50 over World Cup. When does preparation for that begin, and how is the side looking?
So the 50 over World Cup, I see the 50 over World Cup pretty much as the pinnacle, I think, for associate cricket. I know the T20 format is growing the game, and it's exciting, and it certainly has a place, and it's bringing so many more teams into play, with everyone now having T20I rankings and status and rankings. So I think that's hugely exciting for the game. But in terms of 50 over World Cup, I sort of see that as, in my eyes, it's the pinnacle of where we can go at the moment. Reaching full member status is another. And in terms of prepping for that, I don't think you ever really stop. I think you're always trying to progress your team, develop your team as fast as you possibly can, with an eye being on the 50 over World Cup qualification. That's a couple of years sort of down the line, and we have to play our Cricket World League Cricket World League 2 games, and that's where we currently are at the moment. We're in Dubai, facing up against the UAE and USA, and all these games, all the points go towards getting into the next World Cup qualifying campaign. So it started in Aberdeen for us, and fortunately we're sitting in the top of the table with 3 wins out of 4. But we have to continue to play well in the Cricket World League 2 competition to book our place in the actual qualifying tournament in a couple of years' time. So that's sort of how the process works. And getting there, like I said, you're always trying to develop your team and trying to make sure the guys are on track. But we're certainly into 50 over mode right now, but come the end of, or sort of the middle of 2020, we will be back into T20 mode with the World Cup. So you sort of have to flex into both formats. But as I said, you're always looking to try and develop your side and shape your side to where you want it to be. But essentially for us, it's about making sure we get the points on the board first of all.
Cricket has been in your blood as you represented Scotland at all age group levels. Being passionate is the difference between making it at the highest level or not making it. Would you agree?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to come all the way through the ranks in the Cricket Scotland system. It's certainly developed along the way. Before, when I started, you used to have to buy all your own kit and your own tops and tracksuit and all that. And in some early stages of the junior ranks, I think you probably still need to do that along the way. But yeah, very lucky to have been on that journey, and yes, it does. It creates a strong affiliation, a passion towards your country. It's something that I feel very strongly. Passion is a huge driving force for me, but also the development of the team, where I'd like to see the team get to. Where I'd like to get to within my playing career in terms of how far Scotland can get. Full member status would be the icing on the cake, really, for me, and it's certainly something that we hope is potentially achievable for us and still in my time. But it's passion is an important thing, but it's not what drives every player. Certain players have different perspectives on the game, but you have to find something that connects you with your team, your country, in the way that's going to give you what you need to perform on the field. Passion flows through people in various ways, so that's certainly something that has pushed me along the way. Playing cricket for Scotland has always meant so much to me, and pulling on a Scotland shirt's probably some of the games and some of the tournaments we've been to. Some of the victories we've had over the years have been the proudest things in my playing career, and in some ways some of the most proudest things I've done in my life. There's certain other things that come into that with family and that, but it certainly drives me.
We're going to go back in time a bit, and if you could just tell us about the 2009 T20 World Cup when you took that best catch ever against Africa. What was going through your mind at that moment?
Yeah, that moment, although it was going back 10 years now, has a special place in my memory. It's for a few reasons that day. Look, one, let's talk about the catch first of all. I probably should have just been stood on the line and it would have been straight in. And to my luck, maybe that I came a bit off the line and ended up having to sort of save myself by sticking an arm up. So, it was in the end, it was a pretty special catch, but there was an element of luck there too. There was I'd actually taken a catch in the previous over, from that end, and at the Oval, it's quite actually hard to see the ball coming out the stand until it went higher than the roof, until it went into the sky. So the previous over, that happened, and I'd had to sort of rush in a bit to make sure I got to the ball to catch the one the over before. And this one, I was thinking, right, when it's hit, if one comes at me, make sure I get the yards in. And so I saw it come off the bat. I knew it was coming my direction somewhere. Started coming off the line, and then saw it go above the stands, and then realised, oh no, I've done myself here like a kipper. So just stuck up a hand and it stayed in. So yeah, it's a special memory, something I always remember. But also that day, having South African background, actually playing against South Africa was a pretty special day. I was stood. We did the national anthems at the start of the day before the game, and I was stood looking up. We're all in a line, obviously, and I could see my parents up in the pavilion, both of them being born in South Africa, but myself being born in Aberdeen, Scotland. I was thinking, which anthem are they going to be singing? But I think they were pretty mutual. But yeah, they probably would have been supporting us. But I don't know whether I could actually see whether they're singing each which anthem they're singing, but I know they were very proud on the day.
To add to brilliant moments, in your first match as ODI captain, you scored a century, becoming the first Scottish player to do so in a debut captaincy. How special was that occasion for you?
I think you've caught me a little bit off guard with that one, to be honest. I may have been aware of that one at the time, but it seems to have slipped my mind. Yeah, I'm assuming that must have been the game at Sharjah, I think, against Afghanistan. I think. But look, any time you contribute with the bat is really important to your side. Whether you're captain or not, to do it as captain is obviously very special. But making sure that as captain I'm still contributing and putting the right performances in for the team is the most important thing. Yeah, who doesn't love scoring runs and to be able to notch him up in an ODI makes him that little bit more special. Unfortunately, that game we didn't win, so it's bittersweet in some ways. But yeah, scoring runs and doing well for my team is what I want to do, and very fortunate that sort of panned out that way for me.
You then captained Scotland to a 6-1 run win over England in a 50-over ODI at the Grange Club in Edinburgh, scoring 58 runs out of Scotland's total of 371 for 5. Your career is full of special moments, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, that day in Edinburgh was certainly one of the most special days in my career. Cricket for me is about gaining moments in your career that you can always go back and reminisce about, share with your teammates, pass on to others. And very fortunate to have been there in that day. The day still, to be honest, sends shivers down my spine a little bit. The way the crowd was, the way the atmosphere was on the ground, the style of cricket in which we played. We spoke a lot about that game, probably about a year in advance, how we're going to plan to beat England. Scotland will beat England one day. When will it be? Why can't it be that day? That was our chat. And we built it up all the way until that very occasion, and the style of cricket that we needed to play had to be, you had to be willing to score a big score, had to be willing to be setting at least 320. In the end, we actually needed more than that, but it was a hugely proud day for the country, and proud day for all the players that were involved and all the people that have been involved along the way. So it was a special occasion, and one that we'll all remember for a long time.
You were appointed a member of the Order of the British Empire in the 2009 birthday honours for services to cricket. You became the third Scottish cricketer to receive an MBE for services to cricket. Of all the things that you've achieved, how does this rank in terms of your achievements?
Yeah, it was a huge shock, to be honest. Certainly something that had never even crossed my mind, and the fact that I was thought of and associated to have be deserving of an award like that was just something out of this world. A huge honour. I pride myself on playing the game the right way, and setting the right examples, the right standards, growing the game anywhere I possibly can, and just as a general rule, sending the right messages. I've tried everything I can to try and grow the game in Scotland, but certainly grow the game internationally, globally, within our environment. And the fact that came around was a huge shock, but something that I'll cherish forever.
Generally speaking, are things operating well with cricket in Scotland?
Yeah, within the Scottish system, things are working pretty well. They're continually looking to try and find ways to develop it further, keep finding ways to improve the players that we have within Scotland as fast as they possibly can. So that'll be finding smarter ways to train, finding greater competition between each other. One of those is having a real big emphasis on our regional system within the country, and that is effectively our provincial or version of county cricket within Scotland. So for those games, guys fly up. If they're guys around the country, they all come together to make sure they have to represent during these phases of the season. And that is constantly being adjusted and monitored now to fit in with our program. So and it's producing some exciting players. Our under-19s are going away to the under-19 World Cup, so that's good for us. And the female side of the game is improving dramatically as well, and we're expecting some good things from them over the coming years. So and we've got two fantastic coaches in place, two new coaches in place with Shane Berger and Grant Morgan. So things are exciting. We still need to keep working to try and find the best ways ahead for us as a nation and as an organisation. But they're always, as you'd expect, being monitored and assessed as we go along. So, but things are in a good place, and we've got two good people at the helm.
As we come to an end, besides your upcoming fixtures, is there any test or series that you're thoroughly looking forward to?
Regarding any sort of test or series that I'm looking forward to, for me, it's finding ways to for our team to keep on developing. I know it's not necessarily a series as such, but it is certainly a test to try and leave our boys or give our boys every opportunity to be firing when we come up against. Recently announced New Zealand, which is obviously going to be a target for us, and the Australians when they come in June in 2020. So they're certainly tests that a test or a challenge that I'm looking forward to. It's something that we've got to play a certain style of cricket and be willing to play a certain style of cricket to compete with these sides. And not being afraid to lose badly if that doesn't go our way. But we're going out there to win, not to just make up the numbers and not to sort of put on a reasonable show to show that that we're an okay cricket team. We have to be willing to go out there and lose pretty badly to play a style of cricket that'll compete with those top sides. But we're in a position now that we can do that on a more of a regular basis. It won't happen all the time, but we have to give ourselves a chance to do it, and we have to be realistic with that too. But we've certainly got some players who, moving further into the future, will be challenging not only at the international level but also at some of these franchise levels around the world. In terms of a series, on a personal note, looking forward to the T20 World Cup in Australia. That'll be playing on the world stage at any ICC and major event are fantastic opportunities, and they're starting to dry up a little bit for me now, I guess, but I'm going to try and make the most of every one of those that we get the opportunity to play in the next couple of years.
Well, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Wishing you, the players, staff, all the best for your upcoming ventures, and I'm sure we'll see you guys making brilliant headlines on TV soon. Thanks, Carl. All the best.
Thanks, Ryan. I hope that comes out all right. I hope you have a good Christmas and New Year, and you take care, and we'll speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye.